It's your boy Ottr back at it again with another solo queue to pred video and a new haircut. If you can look at me now and you look at me in the VOD, I look quite a lot different. I was just at the barber. It was great. I had a blade against my throat for the first time ever from a barber. So that was pretty cool. But now we're going to go and drop on Epicenter. And I decided to go for a contest. This whole day, this whole grind so far over at twitch.tv/Ottr has been hell. I have been continually trying to figure out the perfect recipe to make stuff happen in the meta here. So I've been playing Maggie, as you might have noticed, and I've been doing fine with her. She does allow me to play the way I want. Either way, to get contest here. I'm taking a 1v1, a little bit greedy with the angle. I was like, eh, sure, whatever. I know my team is all around me, and pretty sure that the whole enemy team is stuck inside. Actually, there was a Watson standing there for some reason. I'm getting hard focused, and I'm just, you know, I'm making it my job here, just stay alive as long as I can, stall, don't take a bad trade. I did end up peeking and helping Valkyrie out here because he as well had 1 HP, getting all the focus. And at the end of the day, you need to actually provide pressure even if you have low HP. Just, again, don't die for it. That comes down to having, you know, a little bit of a fingertip touch to everything you do. But Spanky, our teammate, he came in clutch and helped us actually close that one out. This whole VOD is actually super good, and I'm hoping that we'll find some really good lessons in here. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's going to be a lot of times where you think it's over, and then it ends up not being over. So there's just a lot of good lessons here. Mostly learning from the opponent's mistakes, I guess, but it's always good to know what you can do better yourself. Like, how do I react to a team playing a certain way? Because, you know, very often in Apex Legends you are forced to react to what someone else does, and if you can predict what they're doing, or if you can counter react with a better strat yourself based on what they're doing, you know, you'll end up coming out on top. And again, a team, I say this all the time, a team that is the aggressor usually has to push themselves a lot more to, you know, close out a fight or whatever. And that's usually the best time to strike because they don't expect it, and they usually end up overexposing themselves. So I'm looking for like a shotgun secondary here. I feel like as a Maggie, it's kind of a must-have with the shotgun. Now my teammates saw an opponent, so let's see where this goes. It's walking up a little bit. You look at zone, it pulls up there. I'm not gonna try to pause. I'm running the 3x R301 as well. Personally, I feel like it's been helping me a lot with the specific engagement regions that I find myself at. Maggie does have some clutch potential, especially with the shotguns, but I don't actually find myself being close range most of the time. So I'm just following his ping, and we end up spotting the Valkyrie. I assume she saw me at first, and see her scan, we go for the shot. Not my cleanest beam, not my cleanest beam. And they actually were, I don't know if they were waiting or something, but they reacted really fast. Thankfully, I managed to get behind cover. My teammates are holding. As long as somebody peeks, you know, to the left, I'm fine. But this fight isn't worth taking. They are expecting us. There's a big open space in between. Zone is closing. And as you will see in a little bit... Oh yeah, repeat it one more time. You can see that they have head glitches. Just kind of sitting there, so... They're giving us nothing to work with. Might as well... Yeah, not even call my team back. There's no point in continuing to stay there and take that fight. You just go back. You cut your losses. It's also been pretty drawn out, so the odds of a third party being around the corner is very high, even though it's a edge fight. Just gotta keep on moving. I also still have an alternator instead of a shotgun. Well, there's an Eva, so it's definitely need to, you know, upgrade that when I can, instead of spending all the time poking a team that I won't fight. You gotta make sure that everything you do has a meaning to it, which sounds obvious, but like a lot of people I play with or against or VODs I watch, like, they don't do anything. They just sit around, and they either like sit around and they just don't shoot back or whatever. They just kind of sit there and they just waste their time, or they end up shooting and they get themselves caught. So that's not very smart. Smash like if you agree. Okay, I'm not super happy what happened here, so there's gonna be so much. This is gonna be a lot of lessons here, and we're gonna be learning from my mistakes for once. 9 scores alive. There are a lot of shots here. My teams are pretty split. But I'm playing Maggie, I'm feeling comfortable. I walk up, I even tell my teammates don't push in too hard here. And in my opinion, I try not to push up too hard. So I play the cover here, try to always just make sure I don't overexpose myself. Now there are 2 people here, but it's fine. I get to pick on the lifeline and ended up being on a different team than the Valk. Not my cleanest beam, quick Q for space. Wide peek, try to figure out what's happening. I go for the beam on the Wraith. I don't know how I died there. I don't know. I guess he's just insane at the game. So my teammates, this is really good. Unprompted, they peeked. They're getting pins removed, but they peeked the same side. And I think they don't get the kill, but he gets stopped. I just try backing up. Personally, like, I don't like push to talk. I feel like that's low-key what got me killed. I hate push to talk. It messes with my inputs a lot when I have to reach over and hit the push to talk key. So I'm actually telling him to run away. I got beamed really fast, and I've never seen the guy's name before. There's a lot of cheaters going around in Apex in general, but especially this season. So I'm always, when I get hard beamed, when something doesn't seem right, I try to call it off. I try to call my teammates to get the hell out of there. But my teammate instead, he chose violence. He woke up today and wasn't gonna be the guy. It wasn't gonna be the guy to run away and rat. And that's probably a good point, because I feel like ratting this season is really hard to do. Everyone's running a seer at this point, and they're just gonna find you either way, and you can't fight back no matter what you do. So you should probably just try to hold your ground and look for a 1v3, even if you're probably screwed anyways. Like, your chances of fighting a 1v3 in a situation like this are way better than if you're taking a fight when you're hiding in a corner and a full team already prepared runs at you. So I heard some steps here, and I had to cancel myself running and go back behind cover and just heal up before I start moving, because otherwise I would get caught. Spanky understands the assignment here, and he just holds, which allows us to run up. I'm calling that we keep running now. There are even more, at this point, there's even more teams joining the fray, and I'm not gonna put up with that. We're just getting the hell out of there. We have to leave Valkyrie, sadly, but there are so many teams, there's not really much of a choice in the matter, or whether there is a choice, and I'm making a choice that I want RP. I feel like you can play it as a duo. Duo is fine, solo is not, most of the time in the stream. Oh, this is a guy there who didn't shoot me at first. I have no idea how I got away from here, but looking at the VOD, I think Seer just gave really good cover, again. Good teammate for sure. We know that most of the server, if not the entire server, is in the southeast right now, because we saw them. We saw several teams fighting. It was just a mess, and it was a long fight, so you know a lot of teams will congregate around that point. We know that since we are a duo and we wanted to play for second place, we want to get to the, especially if there's a cheater, but even if there isn't, we want to get to the opposite side of the map and just play positioning, and then walk in and try to find a timing where we can go in a third party. Sarah's in Narnia, and I'm running myself. Also because that team did shoot me, and I got chased a little bit, and I'm not sure if they're gonna, you know, end up following me or not, and I'm not gonna find that out myself the hard way. So he's getting chased a little bit. I figured I'd put a little pressure down, maybe stop them for a little moment. It seems very chaotic though. I don't know. Looking at this now, I still don't know whether that was the same team. It makes sense it would be the same team. But then it looks like they're shooting the others here, so I don't know what the hell is going on. So there's 5 squads. So which means that there's 4 squads with 8 people remaining. And we notice 1 full squad, which means that there are 3 squads with... Math is hard. 5 people remaining. So I'm... Okay. I'll do that the backwards way. I need to get better at the... I need to get way better at the math part for sure. There's 5 people missing. So again, all we're doing is just looting, hoping that nobody really runs up here. Seer isn't with me, so if someone ends up being here, I wouldn't know. But I'm just taking a gamble that, again, because we're expecting that most of the teams are by south, we should be able to probably just play the north side here safely, maybe grab a little bit of loot and try to find a rat spot all the way by the edge of the map. I know ratting, again, isn't that good, but our best bet is ratting at this point, and just hope, because Seer's range is 75 meters, so you want to find a safe space to hide that is more than 75 meters away from the Seer. If that requires you going to the edge of the map, so be it. Alright guys, also if you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads. In general, we upload every single day. But only 16.7% of you guys actually watching are subscribed, so it would help a lot if we can get the Ottr gang to 500,000 subs. Just make sure to smash the subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Voice crack. Man, I'm a man. Manly sounds. Manly sounds. Also, while you're at it, guys, I'm doing these reviews of myself, and we did very recently one of Dark Zero, how they won ALGS. If you guys want more VOD reviews, I'm actually trying to do these for you guys as Patreon subs. So check out the patreon.com/Ottr. And by subscribing as a tier free, you will get access to about one VOD review a month, sometimes more. And right now, for the next, I think, 3 members that send in a VOD review, even if you're a tier 1 subscriber, you will get a VOD review, you know, at the cost of a tier 3 sub. And that starts at 6.50 euros or rather dollars a month, because for some reason they're the same right now. I don't know what's going on with the world economy, but consider it. It's a great value. It's a great price. So either way, we're sitting here, and I think I told my teammate is anyone on the left. He's pinging, he's not really communicating with me, but I want to go on the left here. There's obviously nowhere to go if we go if we go forward, there's no cover, so we take the left. I think he's just scanning and seeing that. Oh, well, doesn't seem like anyone's here. Flash is fast, flash is cool. We have pretty little information about what's going on here. All we know is there's one full squad, probably a decent amount of rats, you know, barring us, and we're at the edge of zone just trying to stay alive. And I actually told Seer around this point that we just like need to rat. He called this spot, so I went there. It's a better spot, but it's going to be a Valk ult very soon, and I figured that we need more KP. We have 4 KP. I think it maxes out. I think it's 6 or 8 KP. You start getting like 20% RP per kill, so it's not as worth it anymore. Also, we don't have that much loot. Actually, we have decent amounts of loot, but it's always good to upgrade. And we heard the Valk ult. There she is. We were hoping not... If she hadn't seen us coming down there, we would have killed her for free. So I think we could go for it. Just quick drill to give, you know, pressure. Don't let him just land there or play the cover for free. A lot of cover to work with here. A lot of rocks. We did hear a Kraber go off on the right somewhere, so you have to be careful about that. Not give too much to the other teams. Now the whole server is probably going to be looking at us. They are a little bit... The full stack is a little bit distracted, looking towards south. But at the end of the day, we can't overcommit. I can't walk up on the right. We can't walk up in front of us. We just have to see what happens and look for a good opportunity to third party, as it stands. Oh yeah, you can do that, by the way, if nobody knew. Not my cleanest beam. He also ended up getting stolen. But that means that there's one downed guy there. And for some reason, there's a Seer here. I don't know what the hell this guy was doing, but he just walked into us. He walks into a crossfire. Probably assumed that he was chasing a rat. I went for an Arc Star because I assumed he would commit to that, but he realized his mistake and just went for it. Thankfully, Sparky hit those, or Spanky rather, because I whiffed them. Go for the cleanup there, and now suddenly everything changes. Because that was the full team. That was a member of the full team, which means now it is a duo at best. That team is in shambles. They have to reset. They have to get their teammates back if possible. And we suddenly have a lot of space. You don't see them anywhere holding us down. And they're also in the middle of the zone with a lot of rats lurking about. This is super risky for them. They're going for the rest. I called to my teammate. We need to peek this. We need to go for this. I peek it. Oh, there's Lifeline giving us a free kill. Super nice of him. And then there's only one left. So the full free man turned into a solo. At this rate, with my really bad mathematical skills, this should be a 2v1v1v1. So we're pretty well off here. I don't have a lot of light ammo left, so I'm switching to the flatline. Always a good idea to do. Especially if both of you are running the same ammo, just to free up a little bit of pressure on the old economy. You know how it is. So he's climbing up here, taking good space. Again, we're not seeing anyone. It is a little bit of a greedy... I'm just feeling very bolstered and confident here. But it is a very greedy position to take, just kind of wide peeking everyone. He's slowly walking up because he knows you have to be careful. I don't care. I'm playing Maggie. Is anyone on right? I should though. I should care though. But we're just taking up. We notice one team. They also notice another because he just killed them. So we notice one guy there, and then we spot this last guy. He's on the corner here. Not my cleanest beams today. I'm not a big fan of watching this VOD for that reason alone. Damn. And now we know the last guy's right here. We also know he has to be a solo. I'm mag ulting so I can discombobulate and maybe even stun him for a little bit. Not hitting the shots, but it's fine. I did hit the rest of them. And that's that. So what happened here, let me just reiterate, because we mentioned it at the start of this VOD review, or whatever you want to call it, solo thread video. We used the enemy's mistake. I mean, if they would have played cleanly there, we would have just died with no chance of fighting back. But the Seer, right about here, through the game, by for some reason running up. This happens very often in ranked, where someone gets bored or they lose their discipline. I don't know why, they just turn their brain off and go, okay, I'm gonna run straight into this team. I don't know why that's a phenomenon, but it happens almost every single game. You just have to look out for it, and you have to punish it when it happens. Thankfully, Spanky here actually hit the final Pika shot to clean him up. And then it's very good that we identified that that was a duo now, so we could actually punish it. There was just a series of mistakes coming from the team who was the favorite to win that we caught, and we punished them for every single mistake on the way to eventually win the game. And you can do that too. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Cool.